All right, folks. Hi, I'm Eshaan reporting for Kids First, and today I'm super excited to speak with Director Dan Chen and documentary subjects Isaac Smith and Aighty London about the film Accepted. This is all of y'all's first documentary film, right?
Correct.
So thank you so much for speaking with me today. It's going to be super fun.
Thank
No,
you.
thanks for having us.
All right, so let's jump right in. And Dan, how did you get the idea for Accepted?
The way I got the idea for Accepted was I heard about this school, TM Landry, through my producer and friend, Jason Lee. He had seen the viral videos of the seniors from TM Landry getting into like Harvard, Yale, Stanford, Princeton. And he was basically like, hey, we were to visit this school and potentially do a documentary there, would you be interested in directing it? And I was thinking about it and I was like, I really connect the idea of being a kid in a small town going for this big dream. And so I just really want to know what it's like to be a kid that goes to a school that's getting all this media attention and really just wanting to hear it from their perspectives rather than like through the news media and through like filtered opinions of adults. And so that was my interest, that was my goal. And so that's when I first heard about the school and kind of thinking, well, maybe we can just witness and feel what it's like to be a kid go through their senior year and through their college admissions process. And so that's what the film is about.
And how did you choose the four seniors that you interviewed? I mean, we have two of the stars with us here today, but how did you kind of go about the process of picking out the four?
Well, you kind of don't know when you first arrive. You don't know anyone, so we talked with everyone. We did like a quick 30-minute interview with every member of the senior class at the time. Throughout the school year, we actually filmed with like I think around 8 students pretty regularly, and it was only in the edit that we focused it down to the four that are in the final film, simply because of narrative clarity and just the variety of opinions that these four have, and they're really just strong voices and people in general. But that's kind of how we did it.
And now let's go to 80. So in the film, the four seniors are shown as having to figure out their future on their own after TM Landry kind of crumbles under media pressure. So I guess let's just start with you telling us where you're at right now after that experience.
Well, I guess that question stems from the fact that I was the one undecided person at the end of the film. Um, Currently, if you have watched it, which I know you have, you saw at the end of the movie, I was playing my ukulele, and that song actually is called Mirage, and it is on Apple Music, Spotify, all the things. I have started pursuing my music career. I really needed a break. And through my break, I started to hone in on my craft. So now I actually perform locally. My album was released in March. It's called Isolated Introspection. It's a picture of a key. It fits right into this keyhole right here. And honestly, that entire album is about like my transition coming from TM Landry and opening up into the real world and getting out there. So for me, career wise, I have completely focused in music.
Absolutely. And Isaac, what was it like to relive your time at TM Landry during the interview you had for the film?
Um, it was more or less reliving and more of a reflection. I mean, I tell people this all the time that with Dan and Jesse and the crew interviewing us and following us all the time and asking us these questions, it really helped me come to terms with what happened. They asked questions that I normally wouldn't have asked myself, and answering those helped me find a place in myself where I came to terms with what happened. And I don't think there will ever be a time where I'll truly, or any of us will truly be able to relive what happened. It was such a specific set of circumstances and feelings. There's no way that you can replicate it. Even if we went back to the school, things would be different. But rethinking about it, thinking about it again, it it's definitely weird. I mean, weird is definitely the best way to describe it. We see ourselves in this situation and we're like, well, how did we get there in the first place? Or how do we not notice this? And how do we not notice that? and it was because we were taken advantage of, and we were trusted a lot of people that I guess we probably shouldn't have in retrospect. But it is nice to reflect and look at what happened every once in a while. I never get tired of watching the film, so I guess that's a sign. So
It definitely is. It's something that you like. You want to keep going back and watching because even in the plot, there's certain elements of the story that have been reflected. But Dan, how did you grow from your first documentary film? I mean, like, this was quite a topic to take on for the first one.
Yeah, I mean, I turned 30 while I was making this movie, and okay, I'll just start it with that. I've always been interested in coming of age stories. I started making movies when I was in high school, and that kind of time in life has always been interesting to me. And what was interesting about this movie, it was, my chance to do a feature length documentary film. It's my first one. And honestly, like kind of what Isaac was saying, like getting perspective on that time now that I feel like I'm in a different life phase. And so being able to kind of help tell a story that I feel like is mainly told by Aighty and Isaac and Alicia and Kathy in the film, and getting to hear like their experiences and getting to relate to the things that they are going through in some ways, being like, oh, I kind of remember that, or that still relates to me now. And then also being like, oh, but also I'm now looking at this time in my life, this time in life from a different perspective as in like an older person that's trying to like also kind of zoom out and look at what it's like to be an adolescent in the context of college admissions, in the context of an unequal society, in the context of this greater American conversation we're having right now. And so I guess the short answer is, yeah, it's just been there's me before this movie and there's me after this movie, and I'm never going to be the same person again.
And Aighty, did you discover anything new about your school through the process of filming and then watching the, accepted?
So I think the thing that I did learn the most about myself, even like watching back, is like I've always had my own ideas, and that's always bothered people. And whenever you're in such a close knit circle of the situation that we were in, like being in a cult or whatever, it's different watching my younger self and looking at myself and saying like, oh, I'm proud of you for not like believing everything they told you. I think that's the one thing I did learn about myself, is that I do have my own ideas and I'm very proud of myself for keeping those ideas. Even whenever it came to not going to school after I left that situation, feeling like college was the only option for me after school, after high school, and knowing that I could take a break and it would be okay. I think that was the most positive portion of what I learned about being there, honestly.
And Isaac, what do you hope that students in the process, in the admissions process, will take away after watching Accepted?
uh, I feel like a lot of students get caught up on the name of a school and what the name could bring them, and like, oh, this school is a lot better than this school. I mean, I would like people to know that your main goal once you're in college is to learn. You know, you can get contacts and you can get all that, but that's something that you're going to have to do. Just going to an Ivy League school doesn't mean that you're going to be surpassing everyone else. You have to show yourself. You have to show out. Don't pressure yourself as much. Work towards what you want to do. Find what school fits you best financially and in terms of subjects that you want to do. UL is a great engineering school. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's great
wise
school.
words from folks who've really been through one of the most unique incidences in the history of college admissions. But yeah, thank you, all three of you, for chatting with me today. Dan, Isaac, Aighty, it's really been a pleasure.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for having us.
Thank you.
Oh, thanks so much. Appreciate the convo.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Alrighty, folks, Accepted releases July 1st in theaters and on demand. Definitely go and check it out. I keep rewatching it. This is Eshaan from Kids First signing off. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you can stay updated. Thanks.